Hey guys, Joe from Bitraged here, and I want to do a quick video on the cryptocurrency exchange hitbtc.com. If you've been on any of the forums, if you read kind of the Reddit pages for this exchange, you'll see a lot of negative press. You'll see a lot of people with issues. So I wanted to do this video, kind of highlight my experience, my personal experience with the exchange, and then show you kind of the experience of others, and then let you decide whether or not you want to use this exchange as your go-to exchange, whether or not it's reputable. So if you look at the exchange itself, it looks really professional. The UI looks really nice. It's got some interesting features, gives you a scaled option to scale your buy and sell so you can layer them. That's interesting. I've never seen that on an exchange. So it looks really nice, but the question you want to know is it reputable? Can I trust them to handle my coins? Can I trust them to handle my money? When I withdraw, am I going to have issues? When I deposit, am I going to have issues? So I wanted to highlight kind of the experience I've had. So I deposited a small amount of Verge into my HitBTC account, and then I initiated a withdrawal. I did this because I wanted to test the theories that people had. They were saying that they had a lot of issues with their withdrawal process and that their withdrawals weren't going through. So I put this one to the test. I submitted this withdrawal yesterday afternoon, I believe. So it's been about a day at this point, and there's yet to be a transaction hash for this withdrawal. So this has not even been processed yet. It's sitting in limbo waiting for them to process it. If you look on the Explorers, here's a Verge Explorer. These are the transactions that I have for this wallet. And you can see here that the transaction from HitBTC is not here. Here's another one. That transaction is not here. So what that tells you is that this transaction was never processed. It was actually never sent. So what they're doing is they're holding my funds, they're holding my coins. Now, they will probably release this at some point, but you can imagine if you had 10 Bitcoin, if you had 20 Bitcoin, and you wait a day and you still don't have a transaction hash that you can track, that would be a little disconcerting. That would be a little shady from an exchange. You know, even if it takes a while, obviously I understand that there are some time limits on how long things take, but there is no transaction hash to even track it. So that in itself is a little shady. You look at the trading fees, they say they charge 0.1% as an execution fee. They'll give you a rebate if you submit an order that won't be executed immediately. They don't say anything about withdrawal fees, so the assumption you get is that the 0.1% is a withdrawal fee as well. It, however, is not. I was charged 0.8%. I know people that have been charged way more than that as a withdrawal fee. So it seems like they kind of just make up the fees as they go. We'll get into some of the fee issues people have had in a minute here, but obviously their trading fee schedule is 2 sentences, so it's not a lot of information anyways for you to decide. Another interesting thing about HitBTC is they have what is called a main account and a trading account. You can't use funds from the main account to trade. You have to move it to a trading account. Why they do this, it's still kind of unclear. Some people think they do this so that they can use the funds from your main account to trade with, and they know you're not going to use those, and then when you move them to the trading account, they actually give those back. There's some theories about it. It's kind of weird. There's nothing inherently bad about it. It's just kind of interesting. Something I thought I'd point out. If you look on the support pages for HitBTC, you'll see a ton of withdrawal issues. You get people, their transactions are still pending. This guy's been 36 hours, hasn't gone through. This guy's been 3 weeks, and they've still yet to send his transaction, his withdrawal. You look at the official forum, just tons and tons of withdrawal issues. Now, you look down through here, it's all withdrawal issues. Some of them are deposit issues, most are withdrawal issues. And you'll notice that the withdrawal issues happen more frequently on larger accounts. You get people with a good amount of Bitcoin in their account, they have a lot more issues getting those Bitcoin out. So that in itself is kind of shady and makes you question whether or not this is something you want to use as your exchange. If you look at some of the responses that they've responded to, and this is an old support account, but the responses that they give to people are very generic, they're very general, they're not very helpful. It's kind of like, if you want help, email us. These people have emailed, they still haven't got help. So their support team doesn't seem to be the highest quality. Another interesting thing about HitBTC is the verification process. If you look at the tiers, you have general, verified, and qualified. Each tier carries the same privileges, so you can do unlimited withdrawals and deposits on each tier. There's a threshold that is different. To get verified, you have to send personal information to the compliance email, so it's not like it's done on the server. It's not like you have to actually send your personal information through email. Whether or not that's something you want to do, you're going to have to decide that, but you should know that this is the verification process. So let's look at some of the issues that people have had with HitBTC and the fee issues. This guy here was charged 10%. He complained about it, and then he was banned for complaining about it. You go down here and you can read there's a lot of issues with the fees. They say they're being charged one thing, they end up getting charged another. This guy was charged $300 as a fee towards his transaction of $3,000, so obviously that's just ridiculous. It's not acceptable. You look at the chat room here. This is the chat room on hitbtc.com. You can see they're banning people for discussing the fee issues. This guy was banned because he discussed it. You see here an actual live screenshot of somebody who had an issue with the fee. The fee is 10%, it's supposed to be 0.1%. So obviously that's a big difference, and you could say, well, this is a glitch. It's possible, but there's a lot of people that have had this issue, and it's yet to be rectified for them. And it seems to happen on larger scale accounts, larger scale purchases, larger scale sells, that kind of thing. So it makes me question whether or not it's actually a glitch or something that they're consciously doing. Something to keep in mind. There are people saying that it's an exit scam, which is basically taking your funds, taking your money, and not giving you anything for it. This guy said he lost $140,000 to them. He had his account locked. He had an unknown two-factor identification put on it, or authentication. Then they claim that there's a virus and you have the issue, and then they lock your account. A withdrawal is issued that you didn't do, and then they just say, well, it was a virus, your account was hacked, that's your problem, and you don't get your money back, and they don't help you. This guy here lost 44,150 Ethereum, and he's been going back and forth with support. They've yet to help him. They kind of just told him, we don't know what happened. There's not much we can do. This guy here is offering a 50,000 bounty for information leading to the rest of the owners of HitBTC. And it's important to note that there's not a lot of legal action you can do against an exchange like this. And if you're from the US, it's hard to take legal action against somebody from a different country. There's just not a lot you can do. A lot of these exchanges can basically do whatever they want, and there's not a whole lot of regulations stopping them. This is the same guy, sold 44,000. I'll leave the link to this Reddit and a couple of the other ones in the description. This guy here tried to withdraw, he couldn't withdraw. And I'll leave this below so you can take a look and see what you think. If you look on bittrust.org, you can see the reviews. The reviews are really bad. And something that you should know is that pretty much every exchange has a lot of poor reviews on these sites, and the reason for that is people don't go and leave a positive review when they're having a good experience. They only leave a negative review. They only leave a review at all when they're having a bad experience, and so you get a lot of negative reviews. The problem with HitBTC is that there is an enormous, overwhelming amount of negative reviews, and a lot of people having the exact same issue. They're claiming that the accounts themselves have been compromised and that it's the user's fault. If that was 1, 2, 10, then yeah, maybe you could take that as an argument. But we're talking hundreds and hundreds of accounts that have had this issue, so then it becomes an issue with the exchange itself and not a user error. This is from Bitcoin Talk. This guy lost 19 Bitcoin. He tried to withdraw 14. It never went through. His account was locked. They didn't tell him why. He then tried to withdraw 4.8, the rest of his Bitcoin. they wouldn't let him do it. So far he's lost 19 Bitcoin. Obviously that's a lot of money to lose because of an exchange's incompetence, or even because they stole it from him. Obviously that you don't want that to happen. I'll also link this thread. It's a 6-page thread on HitBTC and a lot of people talking about it and the experience they've had. You know, just a ton of people saying that they've stole their coins, they've never gotten them back, their account was locked. So would I use this exchange? No. Just because of the experience I've had with it and the experience I've seen others have with it. Should you use it? I don't know, do your research. If you can take the risk, if you feel like the features of the exchange is worth the risk, go for it. I don't feel like this exchange has that many features to warrant the risk for the issues that they have been having. Anyways, that's it for now. If you want to see me do more of these kind of videos where I analyze exchanges, drop a comment and I'll do my best to do that. If you want to see me analyze a specific coin, you want to see me do any sort of cryptocurrency related videos, drop a comment, tell me what you'd like to see, and I'll do my best to get that out to you. Thanks for watching. Take care.